A Visit to Antarctica by Barbara Weldon. The ends of the earth. Sometimes one friend says to another, "I would follow you to the ends of the earth." Just where is that? Can you really go to the ends of the earth? If so, how do you get there, and what will you see? Look at the world map below. Antarctica is the continent or body of land all around the South Pole. It is about 1.5 times larger than the United States. It also is the coldest place on Earth. Antarctica covers the southern end, or bottom, of the Earth. United States. Antarctica. Finding Antarctica. Antarctica was the last continent that explorers found. However, people did not want to visit Antarctica for a long time. That is because the faraway continent is so cold and has no land animals to hunt. In 1911, 2 explorers raced one another to be the first to reach the South Pole. Roald Amundsen from Norway was the winner, the first person to reach the South Pole. Amundsen won because he and his team traveled very quickly. Robert Falcon Scott of Great Britain arrived at the South Pole about 1 month later. Roald Amundsen became the first person to reach the South Pole in December 1911.
Scientists from Britain, the United States, Australia, and other countries began to set up research stations in Antarctica in the 1940s and early 1950s. Today, scientists study weather and do other research at these stations.
When to go to Antarctica. Antarctica is far away from the equator, the imaginary line that divides the Earth in half. This means that November is the first month of summer in Antarctica. Ice begins to break up at that time. December and January are in the middle of summer. Summer is warmer than winter, but the air is still cool. For part of each summer, the sun always shines in Antarctica. During that time, visitors get up to 24 hours of sunlight every day. Some might feel weariness. They may not feel awake or alert. Others like the extra daylight. Getting to Antarctica. Now many people like to visit Antarctica. That is because travel companies had a vision or idea that everyday people would enjoy seeing it. A cruise or sailing trip is the easiest way to get there. The best time to visit is between November and March. These are the warmest months of the year there. It is also the time when ships can pass through ice-filled waters safely. Cruise ships must be careful so they do not hit icebergs in the water. Cruise ship. If you plan to visit Antarctica, ask a travel company to plan your trip. They will make sure you get a schedule so you won't be stranded or left behind in one place. First, you will probably fly to Ushuaia, Argentina, at the southern tip of South America. Then you will board a ship that can move through ice to Antarctica. Most companies offer different kinds of cruises. Visitors often pick a 10-day trip so they can see the most interesting places. On their trip, most people want to take pictures of the wildlife. Others want to see whales and research stations. Some travel companies fly people by helicopter to see places that are hard to reach. Others take people to see the small house Robert Falcon Scott and his team used in 1911 on their way to the South Pole. Penguins and more penguins. Visitors can see a group of 4,000 pairs of penguins on Snow Hill Island. Families of penguins huddle close together and make graceful dives into the ocean. Many people think the penguins know people are watching. Their playful display looks like they are ready for the cameras. Antarctica has many kinds of penguins. The penguin's white belly helps it hide from hunters, such as sharks and killer whales. Sunlight that comes through the water's top layer makes it hard for the hunters to see a penguin from below. Emperor penguins on Snow Hill Island. White belly. Sea animals and other wildlife. Today, at least 7 kinds of whales and several kinds of dolphins live in Antarctica. Seals, a bird called the albatross, and other kinds of seabirds also live in the area. Some of these animals don't live anywhere else in the entire world. The coldest months in Antarctica are June, July, and August. In the northern hemisphere, these months are the hottest. Blue whales have a thick layer of fat under their skin to help keep them warm. Many travel companies hire nature and wildlife experts as guides or trip leaders. These people give talks and show films about the history of the area. They provide information about different animals' lives and behaviors. These guides also show visitors interesting places and things that they should not miss. Sometimes they take people sailing through narrow places and around icebergs. These guides teach visitors about the area so that they can understand what they see. This helps visitors have a wonderful experience on Antarctica. Visitors to Antarctica are sure to see icebergs. Iceberg. Cruise ship. Other travel. A cruise ship is the most popular way to visit Antarctica. You can also take an overflight to see this continent. An overflight is a plane trip that lasts about 12 hours, but does not land on Antarctica. Instead, travelers listen to talks and watch films that tell about interesting places in Antarctica. A private yacht or huge ship is the most comfortable and expensive way to travel to Antarctica. However, Antarctica is dangerous. Only a skilled captain and a large ship can sail through the area safely. Look at Antarctica from the air. Antarctica and the future. In the 1970s and 1980s, people who wanted to protect nature began to worry about Antarctica. They were upset because people dumped waste in the areas around the research stations. In Antarctica, the cold, dry area does not let some kinds of trash rust or rot away. That means it stays there forever. People who cared about nature concluded that this waste fractured or broke up the area's beauty. They knew that they had to fix Antarctica before others could hurt it even more. These people made a plan. First, they told people about their worries. Then they made up standards or rules that all people in the research stations had to follow. The world's scientists agreed. Many people stopped doing things to hurt nature. Today, these nature lovers still work to protect this beautiful continent. Some people feel that visitors have helped Antarctica. So far, their visits haven't changed the area very much. However, Many people do not want more buildings added to the land in Antarctica. Some nature lovers feel that visitors might actually help Antarctica. They hope that today's visitors will want to protect Antarctica for the future. Cruise ships do not let visitors leave trash in Antarctica. Antarctica is beautiful. Iceberg. Responding. Target skill. Sequence of events. Reread Finding Antarctica to find what has happened in Antarctica since 1911. Copy and complete the chart below. Then list the main events in the order that they happened. Write about it. Text to self. If you could choose one place in the world to travel, where would you go? Write a paragraph in which you explain why you want to visit this place and what you hope to see there. Target vocabulary. Alert. Concluded. Display. Fractured. Graceful. Huddle. Standards. Stranded. Vision. Weariness. Target skill. Sequence of events. Identify the time order in which events take place. Target strategy. Summarize. Briefly tell the important parts of the text in your own words. Genre. Narrative nonfiction gives factual information by telling a true story.